talking, but don't let the sound distract you. um, it's so funny. I only recently started eating watermelon. Prior to May, I was adamant that I did not like watermelon. I didn't like the taste of it. Goes to show you how when you get older, your taste change. Because as a kid, I could not stand it. And I think, you know what I think it is? I think the reason why I was always against watermelon is because the candy to me and the watermelon fruit were so drastically different in flavor that I was offended. I think that's what the issue is, or was. Okay, so let me fix myself in a way where I am comfortable and can continue. Okay, let me get this off the screen because I don't know what this is. But I'll give you all a few moments to come back. You like that water staying off. But yeah. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. Yeah, I think I might have ruined this foam board. But y'all with me? You with me? Definitely needed that break. How about that? Okay. Put this back so that I can see. Okay. Y'all here? Y'all here? Welcome back to YouTube. I just have this one last little piece of watermelon to finish. I definitely feel refreshed. I do feel better. You know what? It's so funny. I don't know. The last time I checked, I didn't like coconut water. I was just saying that for the longest time, I didn't like watermelon. I only recently discovered that it's good. In May, literally, the end of May. Hold on, let me put this plate on the counter. Okay. Definitely feel more refreshed. Got a little air, got a little water. I don't love this piano seat though. It's gonna have to work for today. Because, yeah. And we're back. So we left off with me stuffing. Let me move up. It's not like a chair where you could kind of scooch. Okay, so we left off with me stuffing her body. And the thing about it is I want to make sure that I stuff it adequately because you don't want her to have a squishy body. That's not the kind of dolls we make. Not that there's anything wrong with a squishy body doll, but my dolls are New Yorkers, so they have to be a little bit more firm. They're made in the Bronx. So we don't do squishy bodies. We gotta make them a little firm, you know? And sometimes I use the wooden dowel to kind of move it along where it needs to go. And you want to make sure that whatever lumpiness or unevenness, you sort it out before you close it up because you can't fix it from the outside. You have to fix it from the inside. Okay, I think that's good. Might put a little bit more at the base. Okay, now we are going to get her big fluffy Afro puff. Very nice textured Afro puff. And let me make sure I got my straight pins. Shout out to you, Chastity, making sure I have an unlimited supply and do. And I usually use like 4, you know, front, back, side, side. So let me see where I ended. I think I ended here. So if I ended, it's going to be the back. I'm just going to do a little pin here. But before I pin anything else, let me make sure it's centered. Yeah, I think that's good. There we go. On the first try, for real? Okay. I ain't mad at it. Usually I gotta adjust and move things around. We don't have to. Look at her. That is cute. Okay, and you know what? Now I'm feeling like all of that talking I was doing about her head being too long, I don't feel that way anymore. With the ponytail and everything, and the eyes and the nose, it looks fine. Tell you, sometimes we just be doing too much. Maybe that's what it is. I was doing too much. Oh, thank you, Chastity. Um, but I didn't write it down. What was it pertaining to? I don't remember. I be saying a lot of stuff, you know. You know how I be talking. What was it in relation to? Yeah, you know what's so funny? All that talking I did about her head being too big, too long. Now that she has her wig cap attached and her pony puff, her afro puff, and all of that, I feel like okay, it's fine. Goes to show you sometimes, you know. I don't know what might it have been pertaining to. And when you say recently, do you mean like a favorite hairstyle? Her head is. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? I was doing too much, like as usual. I think it's perfectly fine. You know, it's so funny. After I attached the eyes and stuff to the other design, I said, you know what? There's nothing wrong with you either. Again, these are some of the things that we do that we're just like, I don't know, artistically, it's like that, I guess. Because I really was like, what? This head is too short. This one is too long. Something related to you needed supply wise. I don't know. I don't know, but I appreciate you, you know, supporting me in that way because it's actually like it's just so cool. Every time I use the things that you've sent me, I'm just like, oh yeah, you know. Oh, and my address has changed, so that's no longer my address. That's the other thing. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm always I don't know. I don't usually think, you know, I don't usually think of these things until I'm actually using it or doing it. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, I need to get more, order more, or something like that. I have no idea. But I'm sure while I'm doing something, it'll come up. But oh my gosh, you know what? She does have, I will say this. Okay, her head is big, but it's actually okay proportional wise. Like this is a big, sturdy design and I'm excited about it. So let us get ready to attach the textured afro puff. Now here's the thing about this is the one hair technique that I don't actually have a hair workshop on. The reason for that is because I want to do a workshop on it, but I want to oh, you know what? No, I can't do this way. Why y'all ain't say something to me? Y'all know I'm supposed to split this yarn because for some reason it's just annoying to try to pull all 4 strands through, you know? But well, 2 reasons now. The first reason for not having a workshop dedicated to just that hair technique is the fact that I didn't want to just offer that technique. You know that in most of the courses that I teach, there is the hair courses have multiple components like wig cap and afro puff course. It teaches you the wig cap and the afro puff. The curly hair and buns course teaches you, I think it teaches you 3 things. It teaches you the curl technique, the buns technique, and how to combine the two. 103 is braids and coils. Also teaches you beaded braids, how to bead the braids. It also teaches you how to create locks using a different texture of yarn, right? And then what's after that? cornrows. Now, cornrows doesn't just teach you cornrows, it teaches you the ways to add the beads to the cornrows. And I think it teaches you 2 different ways to do the cornrows. And then we have the hair course, which is really just hair, but you know, it's hair. It's not really crochet per se. So, you know, and then there's the pony puff / banding technique. And I feel like that teaches you a couple of things too, and the textured curly hair and ponytails, but like all of them have multiple components. And because they have multiple components, I'm like, I didn't want to just offer this one. So I was actually trying to decide on if I was gonna, how I was gonna teach a textured wig cap. And I was like, that would be forever and ever. And then the other thing is the fact that Facebook now has an expiration date on live videos that now would have to be done in another space anyway. So there's that. But we'll figure it out. Here's the trick though. The trick is, if you've taken the African American Cultural Festival doll design, then you've seen on live camera how the technique is done. All right? So you can definitely do that. That's a really cool doll design too. I think what I want to do next is I want to go into my shop, my Etsy shop, and I want to redo doll designs. So I think I want to do Joy, but I want to do Joy with my kind of string yarn. I want to do Aisha, and I want to do her with my kind of string yarn. And I want to do Malik, and I want to do him with my, you know, I think I want to go in and redo them, but with my kind of string. And see how that all works out. Because funny enough, for those designs, the colors I chose were the same colors that I ultimately fixated on for my kind of string. So yeah, but my kind of string colors are better because it's my kind of string. Okay, so we're basically attaching this beautiful, big, fluffy, curly afro puff to her wig cap. And I know lighting is always so funny throughout the course of the day, so I'm gonna see if I can put this light down and point it on her head, because it's not enough that it's black yarn, but there isn't much light here. Oh, should have did that from the beginning, huh? Yeah, because I realized, I was having a difficult time seeing too. She really does have a big long head though. I mean, funny enough, like I thought it would just be weird and wonky, but it's fine. It's just, it really is a big long head. You should recreate Nurse Pam again in your colors. Oh, that's a good one. I have so many different designs. It's so funny because Nurse Pam was created in celebration of my Auntie Pam, who I have recently moved in with. My Auntie Pam and my Aunt Reese. My aunt, she's been a nurse for, I want to say like about maybe over 20 years now. And now she teaches nurses assistants and gets them ready for their certified nurses assistant exams and certified nurses assistant exams. Hey, Juvana, welcome. Oh, and you know what I always forget to ask y'all to do? Make sure that you hit the like button while you're in here, because apparently it helps spread the word that we're here doing really cool stuff, even though the sound might be a little, you know, like I'm in the Bronx, so the background noises sometimes it is what it is, right? um, but yeah, I want to kind of do them all over. Like I want to do them. I got to take a little piece of tape because it looks like, is that nail polish? No, that's pink fuzz. Oh, but I was so excited because my Brandon, he picked out the colors for my nails. Um, he said something about the Miami Dolphins. He was like, you should do turquoise and orange. And I was like, really? That's interesting. He was like, yeah, like the Miami Dolphins. And I was like, huh. And, you know, the Miami Dolphins colors are turquoise and orange. And I was like, you know what? That's a little too, the orange, I mean, the turquoise was a little too dark. Like it's summertime and I have brown skin. And so for me, sometimes darker colors just blend too much. I feel like, you know, I like to get like vibrant colors that kind of pop against my brown skin. But he was so hyped when I came back in and showed them, because apparently he thinks I never listened to him. He was surprised that I took his advice. But yeah, I like these colors, and I was like, oh, you know what? I like it even more because, you know, each nail, like I had her alternate with the colors. So that's always fun. And then, you know, the glitter component is a must. But it also made me think of mermaid water. Boom. Not so much firelight, but, you know, it's close. It's close. But mermaid water and firelight. So definitely was thinking about that, because that was the other thing I was telling him. I like to make sure that they kind of are in line with our yarn colors, right? Because it just looks good on camera. And ultimately, that's the reason why I be trying to make sure my nails are done so I don't come on here all ashy-handed. I don't want to be on here all ashy-handed, you know, talking to y'all with ashy. I mean, you know, every now and then I do it anyway, but I mean, if I can help it, I'm not going to be all up on y'all screen with crusty fingers. So oh, that's cute. That's cute. Look at it. Look like a little broccoli stalk. I like it. Look at it. I don't know why she got so much lint. Cute. Too cute. Let's see, where's my water? But yeah, I feel really good about this design. And here's the cool thing. Whenever you're working on multiple designs, they always look so good when you have them like next to each other. Even though I sold the first one, of course, now I'm feeling like I wish I'd have kept her a little bit longer, but that's my problem all the time. I'm like, I make them and then they pile up and then it's like, you need to sell them. But I kind of wish that I had the first one here. But here's the thing. If I had the first one, I probably wouldn't have done a third one. right? I probably would have been like, well, I already got this one here, so, you know. And because the string is not long enough to bring all the way around, which I should have considered when I cut it, I'm gonna cut it there. I'm gonna add the other piece to finish it up. I tell you, this doll just seems really, really big. Like, it's funny because now with her ponytail, I mean, she's proportioned though, but it's just, this is a big doll. Oh, I don't know who is going to purchase her, but I will say this. Whoever purchases her is going to love her. I tell you, it's this white polyfill, man. Every time I have to adjust for that, I just be like, dang. Like, why'd they have to do it like that? Why'd they have to discontinue the white freaking, you know what, I'm gonna go on top here, because I didn't feel like wanting to clip it over here, so. I need to see where's her hair bow. Okay, I was about to say, where's that hair bow hiding? Because look, oh, look how cute it is once the hair bow is in place. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out some sort of nice jazzy background music that doesn't have any threat of copyright issues. Um, so what do y'all think? Anybody else decided to modify the hairstyle? If you are familiar with the fact that My Kind of Thing University has courses specifically geared towards black hairstyles, you know what I was thinking would be really cool? The pony puff hairstyle for her would have been really cool too. Yeah, that would have been really cool. I always see the design with a bunch of different hairstyles when I'm creating them. And so that's one of the hardest things to decide on. Like, what hairstyle are you going to give her? You know? That's always tough. Yeah, almost finished. Just got a little bit left. Just tuck that in. And Giovanna, if you're still here, Are you finishing? Are you, because I know that, or did you finish already? Because I saw you had all of your pieces already done. This is too cute. Okay. Did you go with the, the braided ponytail like the pattern says, or did you implement another technique from the MKTU? Last stitch. Okay. Yeah, them 40 braids. I was like, you know what? Nope. And then I just feel like the curly Afro puff is a really good, it's a really solid hairstyle. It always gets really great reviews. And the funny thing is, to be realistic, it's about as much work as it can be the same amount of work as the regular, the braided ponytail. So now here's the other thing that I want to show you all. So if you did the hair bow the way that the pattern tells you, and you have these strings in the back, all I did was tie the strings to the yellow part of the Afro puff. And once I tied them, I tucked them and clipped them. And the bow, matter of fact, I can show you on this girl. It's literally just tied. So you can't even see, really. It's just tied. And that's it. And it is fixed forever. So, yeah. No strenuous things there. Okay, so now, before we move down to arms and legs and that kind of stuff, let us put her eyebrows on, shall we? I'm gonna take that little strand that I had set aside. I'm gonna split it. And I'll just use this for one brow and the other for the other brow. So using the darning needle. Oh, and the other thing that I do is I put the lashes in place so I know how much space I'm working with, because I don't want to accidentally put the eyebrows in a space where there needs to be lashes, or where it's so close that you can't really see the difference. Let's see. Is that good? Yeah, that's, you know what? I actually want them up a little bit further. Because with them down like that, makes her look a little sad. And then I want her to look sad. Yeah, that's better. Does make a difference sometimes. A little bit of maneuvering. Okay. And since we only have a little tiny bit of space for brows. We have to be mindful of that little bit of space. So let's see. We're gonna start here. Yeah. Because I don't want her to look confused. I'm gonna start here. And we're gonna go there. And then I'm just gonna come up like right there. No. Come up right here. Hope she don't be looking worried. I think I might have accidentally made her look worried. Now I can move that and just secure it in place. Ta-da! And she does look a little worried, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about her looking worried. She's fine. And the cool thing about this is, right, with that one done, you basically try to copy the same thing on the other side by following the stitches of the face, right? So boom, and that means this lash was too high up. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're good. We got it. Okay. So we'll just pretty much do the same thing with this one. We should have went a little bit further over. Let me see if I can rectify that with just this little piece. Because right now it looks like this one is shorter than that one. I just need a little bit longer. Yeah, that's better. There we go. Tell you, there's no identical way to do it other than if I just took a shortcut and just made vinyl eyebrows, but I don't want to use too many glue components. But at one point I thought about vinyl eyebrows. And then I was like, nah, we don't do that. We don't need all that. Okay, so she has eyebrows now. And she has her nose and face and all those wonderful things. And now we can get down to the nitty gritty, which is her arms and legs. And we're gonna do her legs last because, you know, that part takes a little bit of maneuvering on camera. So we got arms, and as you can see, they're very long. And can I just say again, this is my kind of string yarn. I freaking love it. It's soft, but it's really, really good for what we're trying to do. My kind of string yarn. Do I have any around me? I don't have any labeled my kind of string yarn. See, here at headquarters, we do the labeling. I don't have any fudge drizzle labeled here by me. It's all still in packaging to be labeled upon order. But yeah, these arms, this yarn is good yarn. I'm not just saying that because it's mine. So I'm gonna cut a strand. Right, and we're gonna split it. I need to sit closer to the camera because I noticed that I'm like way off. Hold on, let me see if I could pull it closer to me. Maybe if I turn. No, that ain't gonna do it, is it? Because I'm doing a lot of leaning. I don't like that I'm doing a lot of leaning. But yes, we got our strand and our tapestry needle. And before we pinch this and we sew it closed. This is how I do arms. I know that there are other ways that people do arms, but I like to do them this way because I don't love the doll designs whose arms are outstretched like they're looking for hugs. My dolls understand personal space and boundaries. They don't just be hugging on any old body. They are New Yorkers, so they're a little bit suspicious of overuse of affection. So, yeah, we got to have this component. Right, no stranger danger with them. Yeah, so we don't do the whole huggy arm things, you know? We don't do all that. Okay, now here's the thing. I have the wooden dowel inserted. It is in my experience that it's best to take the wooden dowel out when inserting the arms because I can then put them where I need them to go without the head being in the way. And with this ponytail, she has a very heavy head. And I'm just going to realize I did that off camera, sort of. I need to back this up some. Is that better? So that when I pull it to do this, yeah, it's like further. Hold on, let me. Jeez. Okay. And I realize in this moment why I don't do the hair first. Just note that without that wooden dowel, you have a very, very heavy-headed rag doll. Be that one arm, and y'all know, like the ears, I like to make sure that the arms and things are secure. So that means I am going to go under the arm too. And our arm is attached. Boom. Okay, taking a sip of water, and then we'll do the other arm and then her legs. Let me clip this and tuck it forever. Here's my yarn needle. There it is. One arm done. She needs earrings. Then again, no, right? Because if you're going to the beach, that's the worst thing to have, right? Earrings. I remember I had a pair of earrings that I loved. Oh my gosh. And although I look really great on the beach, earrings look really nice. Freaking lost one in the water. And I love those earrings. Still think about them to this day. I had to be like 21 years old or something. 21, maybe 22. And I still remember when I think about lost earrings. Those earrings. And they were cheap. They weren't even expensive or anything, but I could never find them again. So they were lost forever. They were lost forever. Okay. And so the same rule with this arm. You line up the thumb and the elbow. And you seal them off because we don't be hugging on strangers. And we don't want nobody getting the wrong idea. Right, girl? That's right, Summer. We ain't giving everybody hugs. Because some people, and in summertime, be unpleasant smelling. You don't want to just be hugging on anybody. I know there's a conversation now about, permission and consent with children. And I just remember being little. And my mother, to a certain point or to a certain extent, she didn't allow us to hug on everybody. She didn't allow everybody to hug on us. And, it was mostly family members, familiar people. But I remember being a teenager, about 15 years old. And my mother had this friend. Really, he wasn't her friend. He was her friend's husband. And I didn't like him. I didn't like him. I didn't like... You know what it was? I didn't like that he thought because he knew my mom that it was okay for him to hug on me. And I remember telling my mother that I didn't want him hugging me when he saw me because I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't know him like that. And his wife, who was just one of the nicest people ever, she's great. Him, I didn't like him. I didn't like how when I explained to my mother that I didn't feel comfortable hugging him just because I didn't know him and, instead of him just accepting that, because my mom told him, listen, my daughter doesn't want you hugging on her or, hugging her. When you greet her, you can greet her, but, no hugs. Instead of him just being cool with it and speaking, he tried to make me, a 15-year-old girl, feel bad for not wanting to hug him, which I thought was weird and just added to the fact that I didn't like him. Oh, your mom tells me you don't want me hugging you. Yeah, she did, and I don't. And the thing about it is, the only reason why I didn't tell him myself is because I didn't want to be called rude. Like, it wasn't a matter of bravery or anything like that. It was respect. It was like, listen, I understand that, he's an adult. He knows my mother, whatever. So I didn't want it to be misconstrued as me being a rude teenager or something. And so I just explained to my mom, listen, I don't feel comfortable with him. I don't know him like that. And, he seems to always want to hug me when he sees me. And I'm like, I don't even really know you like that. I explained this to my mother, and as moms do, they advocate for their children, right? But then Creepy McGee insisted on letting me know and saying it with a tone like something was wrong with me for not wanting this grown man to hug on me. And all it did was make me like him less. And as I got older, that's when I found moments where I had to get very, very I don't want to say very, very disrespectful, but very, very straightforward. And I'm the nice one of my mother's children as far as the sisters are concerned, the daughters are concerned. I am the nicest. They've all agreed that I am the most, I want to say reasonable, because the other three, oh my goodness. And they don't play about certain things, especially personal space. See, I'll be nice about it and be like, hey, mom, tell your friend, no, thank you, right? I have an older sister and two younger sisters, and that is not how that conversation ever went. To this day, my older sister cracks me up because she talks crazy trash to this man's face. Has done it since when I was 15. That means my sister was 20. My older sister was 20. So when I tell you, she did not play. But I say all this to say that we don't be hugging anybody. Look, even this too much. You doing too much with your arms out like that. Don't do that. We don't do that. We be like, all right, how you doing? A little handshake, a little wave. We don't. Come on, girl, what you doing? You don't be hugging people. Come on. We don't do all that hugging. But anyway, yeah, what am I doing? I'm supposed to cut this first. But yeah, it was a whole thing. And I think about it, And so most of my girls, with the exception of, I don't know what this is. Maybe when she stands up, it'll go down some. Because right now you're looking way too welcoming, girl. I don't condone this. You ain't supposed to be out here ready to hug any and everybody. We don't do that. We don't do all that. We ain't with all that. Okay. Now you got your arms on. Let's put your spine back in because you're looking a little crooked. Okay. Put your arms down. Stop all that. Now, I will say, belly button looks a little lopsided, like it's a little bit to the side. Don't worry about that. Probably should have put that arm a little bit further. But, listen. See, sometimes it looks all right. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. Is it the way I stuffed it? Who knows? But what I do know is that belly button has to guide us as to where the legs need to be. So let's make sure that we don't got no issues. Yeah. Because that belly button is going to be our center. Now, can y'all do me a favor? Because I don't have the pattern pulled up, can y'all tell me how many stitches this is? And how many stitches we ended with the legs? Because that number is important. While I take a sip of water. Oh, I don't have any more water. It's hot. Can anybody give me that information? Because we're going to need our 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. And we're going to need our dragon glass. Yes, got it. Let me put these straight pins back where they belong before I have another shortage. 44 single crochet, okay. And the legs are how many? Thank you, Giovanna. How many stitches are the legs? Are the legs 20 or 18? I just dropped a straight pin. Oh, I see it. Okay, as long as I can see it. It's when they fall and then I can't see them. think it's, is it 18 or 20? For the legs. I want to say it's 18. And the way I have it set up, right, is that that little inner thigh, that's the inside. It looked like a little chicken bone, chicken leg. Because initially when I created the design, I was like, you know what? My thighs touch. Yeah, see, no, we don't do the saddlebags. We got the thighs that touch. So that's what we was doing for this. Okay, 20, right? I thought so. 44 and 20. So that means that there are 2 stitches in the front, 2 stitches in the back for the opening. That being said, let me go to my unlimited supply of stitch markers. Thank you, Chastity. And we're going to use blue because blue is my favorite color. Why the blue acting funny? Like, come on, stop playing. Why they acting like they don't want to come out? And I need 4 of them, right? Yeah. Let's do blue and the yellow. Because did y'all know blue and yellow looks really good together? Oh, you know what I just realized too? Side note, whatever. But this coral kind of looks like the orange. No, it doesn't. Okay, forget it. Never mind. Am I bugging? Okay, is that a different shade? No, yeah, I was doing too much. I was thinking I was matching, coordinating. I'm not. But so basically, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. 20 and 20 is 40. Like I said, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So the opening is the span of 4 stitches, and we're using the belly button as the center, as we should, because even though I was saying it looks a little off, like listen, that belly button is how you know where your center is supposed to be. The belly button is also how you know where your eyes and all of those things are supposed to be placed. If you don't center that, you're gonna have a problem. Okay, so with that center being understood, you see it, right? That's another reason why doing the hair was probably not a great idea. Now we're going to count 20 away from the stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And the stitch marker goes in that next stitch. And if I am right, and I put the other stitch marker in the one right next to it, we got our 4 stitches in the middle. And now we count 20 over. Now remember, this is a little funny part. This is where I ended, so it kind of looks like a stitch, but it's not. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Boom. So 20 on each side of your stitch markers. Now, we got our legs, we got our stitch markers in place. You get your hook and get your yarn. In the case of this design, you would likely be using dragon glass for this portion. Okay, and it's really basically very, very simple. I'm gonna do my thing. Leave a little bit of a tail, right? Get ready, get ready. And with these places marked, you know what you can also do. Let's take this wooden dowel out. You can actually bring them over. I prefer to do it this way. It helps close up the middle. Okay. Makes it more leg friendly. Oh crap, of course my iPad battery's dying, right? Did I take the charger? Yes, I did. Okay. I was ready. I was ready. Let's plug her in. Yeah, with me? Because we're almost done once we have these legs attached. I think we're good. Yes, no, maybe so. Tell me this. And let's see, it doesn't budge. Okay. Hold on, is it on? I didn't hear anything. Hold up, let me see. Oh, okay. Just want to make sure we're getting juice. Okay. Y'all ready? This is where it gets good. Okay, you know what? This has to go up higher because I'm going to be up on the camera. Okay. So here are the legs. They are, remember that little dip? That's the where the thigh gap would be if she had one. She does not. And so, almost like kicking her in the face, right? Basically, let us get started. Okay. So, we're slip stitching the leg to the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's basically 12 slip stitches to close them, to close it. One, two, three, 4. Is that screaming that I'm hearing? Like screaming. Sounds like screaming. Okay. 5. Here we go. 5. 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, and lastly 10, 10, and 10. Okay, and now for this, what we do is we leave a nice tail. I feel like that can't be screaming, because why would anyone, child or otherwise, just be screaming like that? Nice little tail, because we're going to use that tail to close up that center. That better be a whistle, because if that's just a kid just screaming, what's your deal? And this yarn has a knot in it, so it's trying to give me a hard time about fastening it off. Boom. Okay, and it's pretty much the same thing for the other leg, right? Same thing. And you know what? We don't have to do that on, yes we do. I just realized I'm saying we don't have to do that on camera, but yes we do, because she has to get her wooden dowel put in. So we do, we absolutely do. Okay. Okay. Same thing. Pinch. Because her head is so big. I mean, her head is so heavy. Okay, let's see that right there and right, oh, hold on. Let's go right here and right here. Okay, and we don't have to count for this because the count is already done. And it's just basically, again, 10 slip stitches joining the leg to the body. You know what's so crazy? So the other day, I saw a post on Facebook that said, today is going to be one of the last days that somebody has two hands. And then there was a picture of all these accidents caused by fireworks and firecrackers, x-rays of people who had their hands or fingers mutilated by not handling fireworks properly. And I said to myself when I saw this post, I said, people are still misusing or mishandling them. Like, when I was growing up, I know that was a That was a big fear. And I still never knew anybody who had been severely injured by fireworks, firecrackers. And the thing about it is, where I'm from, you hear them M80s and cherry bombs and all of that, and they were the most annoying thing, right? And I'm like, does this still really happen? And I mean, apparently, because it was a post and it had all these x-rays of, you know, people who had had accidents with fireworks during the 4th of July. And I really was like, wow, it's kind of crazy that people still have that issue, right? And sure enough, there's this influencer who had a horrible accident where his whole hand, like, well, they're saying, you know, this man's whole hand is done because of fireworks. And not only that, but it's all caught on camera. Now, I saw the pictures of it, and I'm thinking, okay, is it really as bad as they're putting it out there, or is it AI, or, you know, because you never know with these things, right? You just don't know, because people do all kinds of things for attention. But they're saying that this guy, his whole hand, and then they're saying other things like, oh, and he was temporarily blind for a minute. It's a whole thing. And apparently his friend who was with him, half of his face was blown off. And I'm like, I'm listening to the story unfold and get bigger and more crazy and scary. And I'm thinking, like, I wonder. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm thinking, okay, I don't believe that anybody would make it up, right? Meaning, like, I do believe, okay, because at first I was like, that ain't real. There's no way. But then everybody was like, it absolutely is real. It did happen. But what a world we live in, where I'm like, okay, I would really like to know how bad it actually is. Because then they're talking about the temporary blindness. Then somebody else said hands, as in both of his hands, even though in one picture that I saw, it was one hand that looked horribly mutilated. And then they're talking about the friend that was with him, his face. And I'm like, I wonder, you know, the way information moves so fast, the way people, you know, pass off information, and how inaccurately people repeat information. And I've experienced this firsthand. I remember having a series of interviews for Lion Brand when I was doing the skein tones. And I remember how many times I had to correct them on simple things in interviews and articles. And I'm just like, it's so strange to me sometimes how people can hear something so different. Or sometimes it's almost like, did you just do this because you think it sounded better or sounds better? Like, I think about that aspect too. And I'm like, you know, I don't know. But the bottom line is, the picture I saw, if it is to be believed, his hand is completely mutilated by fireworks. I didn't see that it was both hands. Just saw the one. So I don't know. I don't know about a friend who they're saying half the face was blown off too. But I say all this to say, you know, I wonder, when I was about 11, standing with my back towards the fence, and someone put a firecracker in the hole. And oh, goodness. Yeah, see, the thing about it, like, we would always hear stories of, like, people having these horrible accidents with, like, hands and fingers missing. And I always felt like, okay, that's, you know, like, losing a limb. What were you doing? What'd you have? You know, but yeah, that firecracker thing, because I will say, my uncle and my aunt, yeah, there was an incident where she put jumping jacks. Remember the jumping jacks? She put a jumping jack in the back of in his back pocket, lit, and burned his tail up. And the way they talked about it, like it was hilarious. To this day, I'm just like, they made so light of it, right? But I'm like, burns and missing fingers and things are a big deal. But anyway, I say all this to say, right? I didn't know that people still were, needing the warnings. But I guess, I don't know why I would think they wouldn't. That's the other thing. So I know the pattern tells you what size wooden dowel to have, what length. But as you can see, we added more to her head, thus adding more to the length of the combination of the body and the head. So the pattern says one thing, but it doesn't really matter, because if you're doing this the way we do this, you don't need that exact thing, because you have what you need to cut it to where you need. Now, normally I would take a pencil and mark it, or a marker and mark it, but I don't have one within reach, and it is too much of a hassle to get up off the stool, get the pen, and then position myself back in a comfortable way to be able to do this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my finger to mark where it is right now. I just wanna make sure that it's all the way up to the top. There we go. And so with that being said, this is about where I need to cut it. I know that looks obscene, but understand this is important. Okay, we did it. Now, because of the wooden dowel splitting, and because we have to reinsert it, and I don't want it cutting up the yarn as I reinsert it, that's where we get the nail file. I'm like, I know I put it. Oh, here, hold that. And we use just a basic nail file to file it down. But yeah, I just thought, like, yo, that was just so crazy that this, and I think he's young, he's an influencer. And now it looks like the major components of his right hand is done for the rest of his life. But what was even more interesting is the conversation surrounding it. Because apparently this influencer is known for fighting, like beating people up. And there was all these conversations about how he gonna fight now, he can't fight now. And when I say fighting, he's not known for, like, being a boxer or anything, like really in the hood beating people up. And I'm just really in shock about the fact that what the heck happened that he didn't, I don't know, it's just so weird. I've always thought it was crazy, like, how long, were you trying to see how long you could hold it before you tossed it? Because even if the fuse burns fast on these things, right, I'm thinking, you just want to file it down until it's, even if the fuse burns fast, what about once it's lit and you see that it's lit, why on earth would you still have it in your hand, let alone be near it? Unless you were playing chicken with the freaking fuse. In which case it's like, what? That's a horrible risk to take. But apparently this young man will now have to live a life with one hand. And that's crazy to me. Okay, there we go. Boom, in there. Ta-da! I know it looks obscene. I promise you, this is the process. It's funny because I say this all the time. There was a time when I was like, I'm not doing it that way. That's too much. You know? Okay, so now we're going to take our curved mattress needle. And we are going to use that long strand that we left off. Look at that. She does a headstand or handstand. Well, not really a handstand. And we're just gonna use this to close up the middle. Now that we have her spine secured in place, okay, here we go. And we're just gonna close up this middle. Remember that knot is in there, so don't trip about that. I'm not tripping about it either. It's gonna go through. Or is it gonna really fight me on this? Come on, knot. Don't act like that. Let me find out I can't use you because of that knot. Or maybe I just need to cut that part off because that's crazy. But since when? Okay, I'm gonna have to make this a little bit shorter. Every now and then you get a little, it's so funny, it reminds me of what we call fairy knots. They're knots that appear in your hair if you have kinky hair, nappy, kinky, curly hair, and you just wind up with a knot in your hair just randomly as you're trying to comb it out or brush it out. They're called fairy knots. Like a little fairy was playing in your hair when you weren't looking or while you were sleeping. And so whenever I see knots in the yarn, I think of that, fairy knots. Like who was in my yarn tying things up? But boom, there we go. And as you can see, you didn't really need that whole long piece anyway. So, you know. And then once you have it tied and secured, you can tuck it in a really cool way of making it invisible. Boom. Gone. How cool is that? Done. We're gonna hide these strings. I'll hide these strings off camera. But y'all see the techniques that I use to hide the strings for the hair attachment, for the body, all of that stuff. It's the same thing. Of course, all the time. My mother. Till I have to teach, and she never remembers when I have to teach. Okay, so boom, there's that. Look at that. And now you know it's funny. Remember I was saying that the belly button looks off-center and all of that? It doesn't really look so off-center anymore. Okay, now for Nasira. The faux knot that I was talking about is once you cut the yarn and you have this situation here, I use a darning needle, and it's just a finishing technique. That's all it is a finishing technique. Are we still here? Are y'all still here? Because why is it telling me? Oh, let me tell you, this is what I mean. Jeez. And when I call to ask what's going on, nothing. Okay, it's 7 of us. Sometimes I think my mom needs to call all of us every day. I'm like, okay, Mom, it's a lot. Okay, so basically, the faux knot is created, the faux stitch is created when you see that first stitch, you go in, right? See that? And then in between. Now you can rewind this and slow it down and do all of those things to see it. But basically, boom. Doesn't it look like the rest of them? It's not one of them, but it looks like one of them. That's what I mean by the faux stitch. It looks like them, it's not. So when you're doing certain things, you have to be mindful to ignore it. Okay, and now, geez, I tell you, this, it's funny how sometimes it's on there and it won't budge to come off, and then other times it just slides right off. It's the most annoying thing ever, but I like the way they look. Ta-da! Sandal is finished. So let's put this sandal on her foot, shall we? One sandal, and then the other sandal. Is this, hold on, am I looking at it right? Oh, see the slip stitches. Here we go. We got sandals. I probably should have put her skirt on first, right? Because who puts on their clothes with their shoes on? That's what we're going to do here today. We're going to put on her a skirt with her shoes on. Hilarious, but this is how we do. Very unconventional here. Don't worry if it's a little snug. Just squeeze in a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. Right? Ta-da! Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. And you know what? I always love the summer shine on the fudge drizzle skin. Always. Always. And now, the halter. That's right, we have to put buttons on this halter top. How cute is that, though? My only regret, right? This is what I say. I should have reversed it. Or I should have made this the length of this, because I feel like it should be like shorter to show off a little belly button, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be like that either. But once we have our buttons ready, and here's the thing, I haven't picked out buttons, and I don't think I'm gonna do that on camera, but here are the buttonholes on this side, And where you put the buttons are here on the ends. I don't know what color I'm gonna use yet. I think maybe yellow, I'm not sure, maybe orange. I sent you all mermaid water buttons if you purchase a companion pack. So, boom, but look at that, oh my gosh, she's really cute. She's really cute. I'm gonna put her buttons on off camera, and I'm gonna put her lashes on off camera. But you all, we did it. We absolutely did it. Can you believe it? Another one down. And that basically means, hold up, let me put her next to her buddy. Okay, and y'all gonna have to ask me so that y'all remind me. I'm a doll maker. I make dolls to sell, not to hang out and look really cute in my workspaces. But oh my gosh, they're gonna look so freaking cute together. Hold up, where's her bag? Listen, I'm not just saying this because I made her, but because I made them, but this design is really cool. And the photos that are gonna come from these designs, oh my gosh, look at this. Because the other thing too is I did the top differently. Like I started with a different color. So even though it's the same colors, I arranged them differently. And so that makes it cool and unique. Same thing with the bag. Even though it's the same colors, they're arranged differently. But before we call it a day and part 5 has concluded, you let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about this design. Did you love it? Are there some things that you wish were done differently? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions and ideas in the comments section, and email me and all of those wonderful things, because we're going to be doing this. We're going to be live. We're going to be doing these amazing creations together. I'm not stopping. So y'all just let me know if you are interested in purchasing the pattern for this crochet together design. The description has the links. The description of this live has the links and everything you need to get started. Check out My Kind of String Yarn on Etsy. We have our own yarn. This doll design is made 100% with My Kind of String yarn. This is Fairy Berry. And so if you're interested, make sure check out the description, hit the like button if you like what you see. And if you're interested in purchasing a doll because you're not a crocheter, email me at mykindathing.com. Y'all have a great rest of y'all Sunday, and I'll see y'all soon.